Welcome back to Combatwire, everybody. Today, I will be giving you my official UFC 325 predictions. Let's get right into it. We're going to be starting this prediction video off with an absolute banger. We got Tai Tuivasa versus Thaleson Teixeira. Tai Tuivasa is known for his big power and forward pressure. He's confident in marching guys down. He can knock out anybody in the heavyweight division. The issue for Tai Tuivasa over the recent years has been his durability and defense. He's lowered his guard a lot, allowed those big shots to come through, and it's made his fights a little bit difficult to win. When he slows down and starts eating those shots, it's very hard for him to come back and get in a fight pace, which the pressure is going to be on him because across from him is Thaleson Teixeira. Teixeira is an absolute specimen. This guy is tall, fast, and he picks his shots better than any newcomer I've seen in recent history. Thaleson picks his shots very well, and he doesn't like to go into the fire. He likes to stay long, pick those shots, and pressure when the moment's right. The big question here is who is going to pressure who first? Tai Tuivasa can make this ugly, get in Thaleson Teixeira's face, and just get those clean shots in whenever there's an opening. It could be a long night for Thaleson Teixeira. If Thaleson Teixeira wants to win, he's got to respect Tai Tuivasa's power. Unfortunately, he didn't respect Derek Lewis's power in the last fight, and he paid for it.
Well, he lands a bomb with the right. Oh, huge left.
My official prediction for this fight is going to be Thaleson Teixeira by TKO. I think if Thaleson Teixeira can respect Tai Tuivasa's power, stay long, pick his shots well, it's going to be a long night for Tai Tuivasa, and it'll probably take him out in the first round, if not early second. This next matchup is one of my favorite fights on the card. We got Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Rufy. This fight is going to be a striking masterclass. Fiziev is one of the cleanest kickboxers in the division. He's got elite speed, ridiculous technique, great movement, and some of the best body work you'll see at the lightweight division. He's got a chin made of granite, and when he's in his flow state, it's almost impossible to hit him clean. But across from him is one of the more accurate strikers in the division, Mauricio Rufy. Rufy's skill set is explosive, creative, and he can take out anybody with any strike. Rufy's fight style is explosive, creative, and he's got some of the most flowy strikes in the game. He also has some serious finishing instincts. I think the big question is going to be whether Rufy can get his strikes flowing versus Fiziev's rhythm. With Fiziev's pressure and Rufy's length, I think there's room for error for both of these guys, and either one could put each other out. My official prediction for this fight is going to be Rafael Fiziev by unanimous decision. In my opinion, I think this is a bigger fight than Rufy's last one, and I think it's also a tougher opponent. Although Rufy's dangerous, Fiziev is not afraid to strike with anyone. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Justin Gaethje and put on what could have been fight of the year. I am a Rufy fan, so whether he wins or loses, it's going to be great, but I got Fiziev taking this one. For our co-main event, we have Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I absolutely love this fight. Dan Hooker is as tough as they come. High volume, great durability, and he thrives in fights the more violent they get. Dan Hooker's striking has cleaned up a lot in the last couple years, and when he can establish that range, he can be a nightmare for anybody who's across from him. Although he's coming off of a tough loss, I genuinely don't think he should have been in the octagon with Arman in the first place. This is definitely a more favorable matchup for Dan Hooker, and I'm so excited to see him back in the octagon so soon. Across from him, we have BSD, who is a pure pressure fighter. He's got relentless pace, constant forward pressure, and I think he's going to want to go into deep waters with Dan Hooker. His grappling's dangerous, his cardio's strong, and just like Dan, he will meet up in the phone booth and trade shots all night. I think the key to this fight is going to be whether Dan Hooker can keep it standing and manage the pace. For BSD, it'll strictly be putting hands on Dan Hooker and overpressuring him as much as possible throughout the fight. My official prediction for this fight is going to be BSD by submission. I think Saint Denis is going to want to avoid Dan Hooker on the feet. If the fight's going to be there for BSD on the ground, I don't see him not taking it. Dan Hooker's obviously a legit striker, and he's not going to want to put himself in danger like that. The more pressure Saint Denis puts on Dan Hooker, the more openings will occur, and that submission could be there for him. And finally, we got the main event of UFC 325, Diego Lopes versus Alexander Volkanovski 2 for the featherweight championship of the world. This fight is huge for Diego Lopes, who has looked absolutely amazing every single time he's gotten the octagon, win or lose. Lopes has a legit submission game, and he can stand with anybody in the featherweight division. He's already proved it. If Lopes can even bring half the energy he brought in that Jean Silva fight, I think it could be a great night for him. I think he brought a different type of violence and energy into that Jean Silva fight, which he needs to carry on into this Volkanovski fight. Obviously respect Volk for who he is, but bring that intensity. Lopes definitely has a chip on his shoulder after his last fight against Volkanovski, and he's definitely going to be looking to make up for it in this one. But across from him, you have the absolute gold standard of the featherweight division. Volk is one of the most complete fighters this sport has ever seen. Elite fight IQ, incredible cardio, crisp striking, and the ability to make mid-fight adjustments better than anybody in the UFC. And that's why he's arguably the GOAT of the featherweight division. Although he struggled versus Lopez a little bit in their fight, he was able to adjust from round 1 on and pick him apart. My official prediction for this fight is going to be Alexander Volkanovski by unanimous decision. I believe that Alexander Volkanovski is going to be too much for Diego Lopez again. My main selling point would be that Volkanovski fought Max Holloway 3 times, and each time he picked him apart even better. Volk's IQ and understanding of the game is off the charts, and I don't think Diego Lopez is ready to match that this weekend. And that is going to do it for my UFC 324 predictions. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, please let me know in the comments below. I've been going to war with you guys, and I'd love to continue to. For all your MMA media needs and highlights, follow Combatwire on all socials, and we'll see you in the next video.